Well, we're currently on the third floor of City Hall, the old Billings Police Department, and more specifically the old jail that was here, that was built when the building was built and finished in 1940. And we're here to try and preserve as much of this as we can before the building is turned over and save it for future generations.
After 85 years, the third floor of the old Billings City Hall sits empty. Through the decades, it had seen multiple iterations of police activity, as retired Detective Joel Watson explains.
When I started, the third floor was the evidence division, and this is where evidence was kept and had been kept since the jail, from what I understand, from when the jail closed in 1974. And so this was used to store evidence.
Again, for the first 30-plus years, this third floor was home to the city's jail cells.
You could put 8 people in each of these cells on metal bunks, and then they'd have a toilet and a sink in there also. That wall right there is what they called the visiting, like you could have visitations, or you could talk to people through the little boxes there. And then there's a food hatch down below, and that's where the food would be passed through to the prisoners when they're in here, because the part we're standing in used to be the day room where where there were metal picnic tables that were bolted to the concrete floor.
If these walls could talk, they could tell you countless stories from over the decades, spanning the emotional spectrum, and that is not hyperbole.
The artwork that's in the jail, it was drawn and painted by Vine Brokenrope, Native American here in Billings, and he was a regular here. He got into this relationship with the Chief Dunbar at the time, and Dunbar, he was going to be in here. He says anytime he came in, he gave him some paints. Says, here, go paint something. The paintings that are here, the jail art, are based after stories that actually happened to officers. And then the next one here is related to a story that starts in the basement at the old shooting range downstairs. This depicts Officer Charles Lechner. At the time, he was doing some practice shooting in the basement. He had an accidental discharge, and it ricocheted up and hit a water pipe and caused the flooding in the basement and the City Hall to lose some water that day.
Spending time here, it is clear to see that a new facility was very much necessary. But Watson is determined to keep as much of this history alive, sharing these stories and actually donating pieces to museums to ensure that those who wore the badge before him will always be remembered.
Yeah, this is just one of the ways to remember them and give them something and their families to remember. Hey, they worked at that. Grandpa worked at that or something. Or my uncle worked at that. So yeah, just trying to save some history for everyone, not just the families of the police department, but everyone that's in the community.